Hello again. So today we fight with raiders. It's, I would say, Saturday late evening. So I wanted to show you the map now and let's see what happened. Actually, our attack was Citadel. The main position I wanted to capture was Citadel because all their best forces were at front line and the bridge. That means if we break the bridge, if we break to Citadel, then we get more points than if we just kill someone at front line. So let me introduce you the Raiders. So the Raiders is a long-living golden guild, which was really powerful, and I wouldn't say they are weak now, but they have some problems with guildmates. So first of all we have Nick with a nice physical slash pure damage team and also a great Titan stack of Earth. Then we have Joy. So Joe, actually he plays Fire, Super Titans, and a great team of Undead. So we have double armor penetration here. Not sure if Celeste can afford the entire healing, but looks like this team is designed to destroy the opponent faster than the opponent destroys them. Then goes Oli. So Oli also has been here for a long time. That's one of their best players too. So she has a You Shall Not Pass team with, I would say, 4 healers and a huge amount of damage from Maya. And also a water team. So I'll just show you some other teams. So we have several more people who play like ODH plus anti-debuff plus water. Then goes another team like my guildmates team based on Maya. So actually with Fire Titans. So you see they own nice teams and they are kind of powerful. I wouldn't say that all of their champions are super powerful, but anyway you see that they tried hard to keep in gold and actually they removed Kill Army, so they can hold in gold I think for a long time. And also I would like to remind you that actually this team is like veteran golden team, I would say, because although they have some trouble, I know that Joy hasn't played for a long time and he did not attack today. Still, it's like an elder player and he is very useful for the team and was active at the chat before. So if I remember correctly, he has trouble with health and I really hope he feels okay if it's still possible. And that's why the Raiders are still in gold, they try hard, and you see that they just made a nice effort to stop us. And also, I would like to highlight that they still have some trouble with some of our stacks. As a result, we see some defeats around. So not everything was ideal. We haven't fought for a long time, I would say, with them. And that's why probably they just needed to test our teams and check what goes next. So about my forces, we have one more attack. That's obviously a card pack attack, and I'm not sure if Max can win because I would like to record this video before that happens, so he has the target to remove Aleks. I think he can actually do that because he has a super card pack. So anyway, that's the situation for now. Raiders can't get more points because they used all their resources. And I would like to make a short overview of fights which happened and to highlight what exactly came mostly. So first of all, we needed to attack Nick, and that's the first bridge keeper. You see that he has a nice totem, although not all-star. So Aleks fought with Nick 2 times. He has a nice Araji, and the opponent doesn't have the Earth Destroyer totem. As a result, we see that if I boost the speed, then actually here's the fight. We have Araji on the left side and nobody against Earth on the right side. That's why he was effective, and even though Alex's power is much less, he managed to remove the front line Yes, that didn't take 2 tries, but he did it. Then went Highlander at Lighthouse, so he attacked Ayalla. This time he used not probably typical team, but check this out. So I recommended to use Faceless, and instead of his typical Nebula-based team with 700k plus, he used a team with Faceless. As a result, he was able to clone the opponent. You see that actually Highlander had a different team here and usually. So that was a special team who managed to use not just his own forces but also the opponent. And I really appreciate that Highlander used my experience and probably his own, right, at using Faceless, because I play ODF team and that team is kind of strong. So actually Faceless was able to clone not just his own characters but also the opponent. And you see this huge amount of damage which just destroyed Ayalla. I can understand ODH plus anti-debuff, but still you see that we managed to go through. And then I had to do something to Oli. So the problem is actually we don't have another Super Earth team, and that's why I was forced to play my own add-on team plus water. So I used some tricks, but you see that the Titan power is really difficult for me, and that's why I needed to do it personally to start, and then someone could finish after me. So my aim was just to reduce the power and remove one character. That's why I tried to hold my totem for some time, as long as possible before it's too harmful for my team. And you see that I managed to stop the enemy ultimate, so I controlled that in manual as usual. You see that I managed to stop the Super Titan's hit and then activated at a huge percentage. As a result, my totem was very effective. You see that the amount of damage which Nova gets is huge. At the same time, I didn't want to enemy to get him charged. As a result, here we go, no more Nova. That means our Super Titans of the player who follows me will feel much better without the opponent's Nova. But still, you see that we have some trouble with dealing damage because the opponent has better Titans. I didn't even finish his front line, but still dealt a nice amount of damage. And what's bad, while I'm dig below the ground, the opponent has huge healing. So another aspect I would like to highlight is he managed to heal a lot and as a result came back. And my second attack also was against Joy, so you see he has an all-star fire totem which dealt a huge amount of damage, and here my strategy was kind of simple. So wait for the opponent's totem to start, then use your totem at any percentage possible just to compensate the effect of the opponent as good as possible. So first of all, again, I used the immunity but not the totem. Then I see the Age of Flames, and remember that that's one of the best players of this team, a super long-living player. That's why I knew he probably has a huge totem. That's why I activated only to save my people, Titans actually, while the totem is active. And you see that I managed to remove the front line, which is kind of important. So the next player should go there and try to at least deal some damage. And also I had some players who are kind of okay with water. So another example is Vladimir. Vladimir also plays a water plus team. So actually I can assign him some water stacks, I can assign him some fire stacks, and also he has nice heroes. So Vladimir made a great job here of removing one of the Super Titans, and as a result after him I managed to finish him with the third attack of even weaker champion. So the strategy of removing super mega players, I would say first of all you attack with a huge stack, then you send somebody weaker like mid-range player, and then you send another squad with weaker totem just to finish this up. So that's how we removed the ancient player of the opponent. Then we had to fight with Oli. So against Oli I sent Juan. Juan sent a nice Earth team. That was logical to play Earth against Water/Earth because the opponent doesn't have Araji, and that means no effective damage for the front line. So exactly what I wanted to do is to finish this up, and as a result we managed to go through the bridge. So that's the idea of how we captured the bridge. Then we had some more fights. I will not show you everything, just check what happened here. So I sent Earth versus Water, that's obvious, right? Then we had the fire against water, obviously water with a better totem won. Then we have another nice win from here against Don Leo. Again, I sent water versus fire, nothing special. Then we had Tator versus Alexander. That was a decision to remove Earth with water. Oof, sorry guys. I wanted to say to remove water with Earth, obviously, yes. But still, you see that it was not as easy because the opponent had much stronger Titans. As a result, he managed to deal enough damage, but that was not the end. And let me just real quick show this fight, just for information, so typical start, but the problem is actually that's a hybrid Earth team, and not all the Titans can deal effective damage. Especially when it goes to Eden and Araji is already dead, so looks like everything went wrong because nobody could hit Eden because Araji was gone. Still, Tator made a nice improvement into the situation, and I sent Lord of Cats. So Lord of Cats is our finisher. He managed to remove the two teams. Let me show you how he finished one of them. So the aim was just to survive and then press the totem, then use your Araji, and then win the game. As easy as that. So that's our finisher, and he helps a lot at such situations. Then goes Termit. So Termit got an order into Dyno. I knew that suicide because Dyno even removed Dirtyduzen, which kind of impressive for me. But he plays Fire plus Eden, and Eden is really good against water, right? So let me show you the fight quick too. And the idea was either to wait for Dirtyduzen and try his best to remove Dyno, or just use Vladimir plus Termit as two attackers, two mid-range attackers, and as a result remove the entire opponent. That's what I wanted to do, and that's how we actually finished Dyno. You see that works. Okay. So also we had Tiara Aguirre against real Donald Trump. Yeah, I don't think that's a real Donald Trump, but actually a nice account name. And actually fire versus earth, so nothing special happens, just to go through the totem and to finish this stack. So that's how the fight went, and after that we managed to get this location. Same happened at the next fight, so the opponent has better like situation with Titan power. Hyperion was the most effective because it's fire versus earth and only water can deal enough damage. And then I just needed to do something with Citadel, right? So at Citadel, they placed all the best players at the front line. As a result, they didn't protect Citadel properly, and that's why I attacked it. So you see that obviously healers could burn here. Let me real quick show you this fight. And I'll show you how actually we captured Citadel. It was not super easy, but we managed to do it just step by step, I would say. So here we have another fight where Yasmine just removed everything, and also he burned the opponent's Yasmine so that she could not do anything back. And what I'm impressed with Elucides, so I didn't think that can happen because the amount of power is really different. Still, he managed to stop the first attack, and that's why I would like to show this fight, just to show you that some stacks can be very effective, even if you have less power. So that's another Maya team. You see that the start is just really beneficial for Dimon. That's my general. And looks like Aurora is almost gone, but actually not yet. So we have Celeste, we have Martha, and the situation gets out of control really fast. So he tries hard to remove somebody, instead he just gets himself removed and the opponent is healed back. So that's what happened, and I would like to say that this team is really annoying. Yes, I'm not joking, because Jorgen breaks your energy, then Maya finishes you with roots, you have nothing to protect from pure damage here, and as a result he didn't win, as a result he lost. Yeah. So a hero from the opponent's side. Then we have Selene. So Selene is an effective damage dealer to Yasmine teams, I'll show you how he managed to remove one of them. So she fought against Uruk-Mazino and she fought against Kelkri, if I read that right. So the idea probably was to trap some of the opponents and to finish everything with Yasmine. But Hellios of Selene is able to hold good enough. So let me show you the fights real quick. Probably they just went straight according to her plan. So the decision was mine. I thought that she can deal with it because she has nice healing, also a huge amount of damage to Yasmine, so no more Yasmine, then no more Keira, and then just needs to finish who survived still. And looks like it went smoothly. Same happened here. So against Kelkri, we have a situation where the opponent has more power, but he relies on Yasmine, and actually that didn't work against Hellios as usual, because Hellios is not super weak, so Yasmine is gone. Then goes a huge amount of damage into front line, then Keira one time dies because Phobos did his job nicely. Second removal of Keira. So yes, really, if you rely only on one character, then Phobos is a huge counter to your team. But still, she managed to go on, she managed to deal more damage and go through the enemy defenses, because no more healing, except of some little healing from Phobos and some self-healing from Arachne. As a result, she managed to win an opponent with much more power, I would say. Okay, so that's how she, yes, it was hard, it was long, I understand, but yes, 2 seconds before the end, and here we go. And next we needed to finish Lighthouse somehow. So you know that Max still can do that. I hope he will join us really soon. I just can't wait more. That's why let's believe that he joins us and finish Lighthouse. If no, then no big deal. I believe in him, right? Okay, so the first idea was just to remove Keira. I sent Undead team because Keira is really vulnerable to Undead. And also, Dragon plays a team with Andvari. So Andvari blocks physical and pure damage. And it looks like we removed Celeste instead of Keira, but still I was really happy about that. Celeste is vulnerable because she deals a huge amount of mini hits with her dark field when she goes into the dark form. And as a result, without Celeste, this team became vulnerable. So next idea was just Dragon had to deal some more damage so that we can finish that soon after. And let's check what happened. I would say that actually he tried his best to play Phobos. That was logical because the opponent has only Super Keira. But unfortunately his Phobos is still too weak, that's why he didn't finish, but he dealt enough damage. Okay, so I really hope we can finish Aleks with next attacks from Max, and that's how we did it actually there. So let's check the stats. For example, for the second fight, obviously he has a huge amount of damage from Keira. Keira is his super character, I'm not joking. And yes, he invested a lot into Keira. Then goes Max versus Philip. I'll just show you the stats. That was not super hard. Card removed everything. Then the last fight was Highlander versus real Donald Trump. Just Orion finished everything. You see that this time he played his casual team with above 700k team power. And the last thing I would like to show you about our attack is Dirtyduzen's attacks. So let's check the Dirtyduzen versus Dyno. The situation is kind of mirrored, but here we have Aurora and here we have Asteros. Also the difference in pets. So at the left hand we have more healing and redirection. At the right hand we have extra damage from Albus, and the problem is that Albus often gets stuck at huge health units like Jorgen, like Martha. So actually Albus tried to improve his damage with Maya's roots, but that was not enough. And I'll just show you the fight. So I recommended Dirtyduzen to play Arachne. He really tried her and he thought that she's effective. Check the amount of stuns she deals. And that's a hybrid stack of Arachne plus Jorgen to keep the opponent at low energy and to keep him stunned all the time. So I really appreciate that Dirtyduzen followed some tests, and these tests worked actually, and now he can combine his stacks so that he can win. Same situation here, so again he played Arachne, she's low powered, but still you see that she has stuns, and that's good enough. With Mara, her stuns even better. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you about our attack. Probably here nothing actually changed, because the stack is kind of same. But the stack is charged because the previous attack from Dmitry failed, and as a result we needed to fight the charged opponent. Still, that was not super hard for Dirtyduzen because this team is weaker. And yes, you see that Arachne is vulnerable, Celeste is vulnerable, but other characters feel pretty fine. And as a result, they can hold the damage long enough so that they could use their own roots and remove the entire opponent team. So that wasn't an easy fight, but still he managed to do everything nice. So that's what I wanted to show you about our attack. And let's just check some fights where the opponent failed. So I'll show you the victories. I'm really surprised about this one. So Dyno versus Dirtyduzen. You see that, yes, one of our spectators told that actually hybrid water team is easily removed with fire plus Hyperion. And here you see an example when a fire team removes water in defense. So I wasn't really sure if that can work, but check this out. So actually that is a nice add-on, and as a result he has more effective damage against water. Other characters buff the damage, also with a boost from Araji, and as a result this fight went kind of smoothly for the opponent. Yes, so fire managed to remove water, which is kind of surprising. I'm not surprised that Oli removed myself, but actually people told that that was not super so easy, so let's just check what happened here real quick. Now, so actually the opponent plays Eden again. I don't play Eden because I supposed to fight with Earth, that's why I play Araji. But anyway, we have a kind of close fight that was not super easy, and even the opponent lost almost everything, and at the last moment he managed to come back. So this fight was not easy because water versus water is hard. Actually, same thing you saw happened against me versus Oli, so I scored only 11 points. Then we have some more fights, so let's just show you the stats, not to spend too much time here. And that's how they managed to remove my teams one by one. To remove Highlander, they used a nice Maya team, so Oli worked nicely here. Let me show you real quick how it went and the stats. So actually looks like Dorian is good with enemy Maya, but looks like with the block of energy this team can't work perfectly. As a result, Jorgen blocks this team, and as a result it slowly gets stuck and removed. Even without Maya, the opponent managed to remove Highlander, just because of energy block, which is super annoying. That's probably why some of the opponents played Sebastian today. They assumed we have some Jorgen teams, and as a result, they managed to counter them, but in fact, they failed because Sebastian did nothing. Okay, anyways, that's the stats of the teams, so that you could just compare how Oli plays, and maybe you can check some electives. Then we have some obvious fights, so I'll just show you the stats, what happened here. So where did the opponent fail? The opponent failed to clear some of our Titan stacks, and actually that's kind of nice for my team. So we have water versus water. I don't comment on that, just we have better totem of Pierre, and even with Eden he didn't go through. And then we have Aleks. Aleks is a nice defender. Probably the opponent planned just to do some damage, and something went wrong. So the fight against Aleks I'll show you real quick too. And probably the scenario was simple. Burn enemy Yasmine, enemy has no other instruments to finish, and then Orion healer should do something. So yes, he managed to remove Yasmine, but the problem is actually he could not finish this team. Because Aleks has nice healing, and as a result the opponent tries hard, but the timer is here, and still Cornelius does his job. So no more Celeste, and then everybody finished. So Aleks didn't just survive, he even removed his opponent, which is kind of nice. Then we have several defeats, obviously. Nick versus me is at Citadel, so the boss fight. Let me show you the boss fight, but yes, obviously his team is much stronger than mine. I'm not joking, you can check the stats yourself. So that's his stats. I can't fight with Nick, that's another long-living player of this guild. And 100k difference in power, and I have no effective units against him. So I didn't play Yasmine because she gets burned every single guild war, and I'm tired of that. That's why I don't play Yasmine. And he managed to have everything. So pure damage, then Yasmine plays armor penetration, which is really nice. And also to finish me, there was Albus to deal even more damage. And as a result, you see that he managed to remove me without serious trouble. Then we have kind of Earth versus Earth, nothing special, just a starter, I would say. Then we have Elucides versus Dragon, another fight. So I'll just show you what exactly went wrong, and that's, yes. So Maya and Keira and Celeste and Yasmine. I'm not sure why he did it. Just check the logic. So if the opponent plays Corvus, then logically he can burn characters who deal periodic damage, right? So we have 4 characters with periodic damage at the left-hand side team, and as soon as the totem is here, so just check what's going on here. So Keira tries to deal damage to everybody. As a result, she gets burned instantly. Then we have Dark ability. So Dark ability is damage again, so little periodic damage during healing. We have with Keira gun here, but still the opponent also can't resurrect because we have Morgan. So Morgan counters Asteros, then Corvus counters 4 characters, and I'm not sure why Elucides attacked Dragon. Yes, he has better characters, he has more power, obviously, but it's a kind of counter unit. So check the Celeste, she really can't hold against this super totem, right? So this attack was not logical, and Dragon managed just to hold enough, and only Asteros could survive, right? Yes, so that's how the fight went. Probably they didn't have other choices. Then we have Wolf Raider against Dirtyduzen, so this team worked against mirror team, I would say. So that's almost a mirror, but here we have Super Yasmine. Probably Yasmine removed everybody. And yes, I'm kind of limited in time, so let me show you some more fights. Dark Monkey with Super Kark removed Dragon. Nothing actually strange, right? Yeah, I'll just show you the pets for this team. So I like the idea of Kai plus Kark because Kai throws everybody in the air. He was buffed recently with the skins, right? So it's kind of a nice synergy fight. And he managed to finish Dragon. Then we have Dark Monkey versus Juan with just a finisher, and Eric versus Vladimir, again with a 100 overpower, but that's water versus water, not as effective totem, and his mistake was to fight Araji versus Eden. So that's a bad situation, but probably they just needed to do something, right? And as a result, they did something, they got more points. So I can't blame them. I can't blame them because they needed more points and they got them. So that's how the fight went. I hope you enjoyed my experience. I also would like to say that Raiders are a long-living golden guild who are still there and who can fight. You see that they can fight in general, but just they aren't used to fighting with us because we rarely met each other. And finally this happened, and finally this episode is done. Okay, so that's how the story goes. I hope that Raiders will survive in Gold, and we'll see them more often. So thanks for watching, good luck to you, and see you in the next videos.